Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day today, as always. Now in this very special ASMR video, I'm going to be showing you guys my entire record collection. Now, every single vinyl I have is in this video, and it's probably going to be long. I don't know how long it's going to be yet, but I just know that it's going to be a lot because I've got a lot more records than last time, and that's just why I thought I'd make this video. I thought it would be nice to, come back to my roots of the 6,000 subscriber special, and I had a lot of fun with that video, and I just know that you guys are gonna like these records, these new editions that I got. I've actually been holding off making vinyl hauls just because of this, because I've been wanting to save up and do this to show you guys all my nice new records. But yeah, 100,000. There's no way I could ever show you how thankful I am for that. It's just an inconceivable number. I mean, 100,000 people subscribe to me for what? I really don't know. I never thought it'd be possible for me to be making a video like this. And I think a vinyl record collection is just the most fitting special for me because of how much records and vinyl has got to do with this channel, but also has got to do with me as a person, I mean, my first video was a nice little vinyl haul that I just recorded with my phone and earbuds in their microphone, and I just whispered. It was pretty bad. I mean, the microphone quality wasn't good. It was pretty bad quality. I didn't show my face, but that's what started it all. I even included that in my valedictorian speech. These records mean so much to me. This channel means so much to me, and I just want to be able to combine them all for this one video, no matter how long it ends up being. But yeah, good to show you guys how much I truly appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for all your support. I know a lot of you have been here from the start, and it's really insane that you've stuck by me and have continued watching me. I know a lot of new people have been introduced, obviously, since I made my 6,000 special. But I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, you've opened my eyes to a new world of possibilities and opportunities for myself. All of those old videos I've made of rambling and all the beliefs that I have now are just fueled because of all of you. It's true. You guys have made me who I am as a person, and I couldn't thank you enough. I'm so glad to have created this nice, loving little community with you all. I think it's just a really beautiful thing that a lot of us may not have the same interests or the same personalities or the same much of anything in common. We might not have anything in common, but the fact that we just come to this place of coexistence, and we just exist peacefully with each other, and we're trying to all sleep, and I'm so glad that I was able to form a community like that around my channel and create a little safe haven almost, where you can just tune into my video and really feel grounded, and knowing that other people are watching it with you, doing the same thing that you're trying to do. I just think that's a really beautiful thing, and I couldn't be more grateful for each and every one of you watching, and for each and every one of you that has ever left a nice comment, for anything that you've done. It really means a lot to me. It means more than any of you could ever know. I just really want to say thank you. And actually, I got this in case you wanted to see it. I thought it looked pretty cool. ASMR Nirvana. I never thought I'd have one of these, which is pretty insane. I mean, I've watched YouTube for a lot of my life, but I never thought I could get like a play button. It's wild. It's surreal. I don't even have words for it because it doesn't seem like, I don't know, it doesn't seem possible for me. But you guys made it possible. Oh, and you might notice something different, that I'm kind of like soft speaking. I'm not really whispering, but that's mainly because the last video I did of this, where I whispered the whole thing, by the end of it, like, my throat was just dead. And I'm gonna be moving off to college in like 2 days, so I want to be able to talk to people, without having like a hoarse voice. But forgive me if this is like not what you want, if you wanted the whispered, but I know a lot of people wanted soft spoken video too, and I thought I could give those people a little treat. And I've actually wanted to do a soft spoken video for a while now, but I don't really know when the right time was. But I think this is a good one, so I don't kill my voice. But yeah, I'm very excited, and I'm gonna start off with the records that I've just been listening on like repeat recently. So yeah, before we get into it, I want to give a huge shout out to all my lovely patrons: Ratika K, Luke Wilson, Scoobert, Doobert, Martin Tournier, Orlando Sebastian von Suttenberg, Sergio, Amy Cadden, Joey, Ayelet, Angel Roke, and Ellerine. Thank you guys so much for all your continuous support. I love each and every single one of you, and I'm just glad to see your names and just be reminded of you and your presence in my life. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the first record that I want to show you all, Gemini Writes, Steve Lacy. Now this is just, this record means a lot to me. I mean, I remember right when it came out, like actually minutes after it first dropped, listening to it in the car with my friend. And this album and all the songs on it kind of just defined last summer for me. And I have so many memories attached to this entire album. And Steve Lacy is just an amazing artist. I love all his work. But yeah, I think my favorite song on that is Helmet. I'm gonna not try to take like an excessive amount of time on each record, just because I don't wanna bore you guys to death. But I'll just say what comes to my mind when I hold the record and when I feel it. But up next we got Mac DeMarco, Still Beating. I got this, I think it was winter time of last year, I think. And I'm absolutely in love with this record. I've probably listened to it 50 times since then. It's still beating and on the level, and just Mac DeMarco as a whole his music is so unique, and they're so him, you know it when you hear a Mac DeMarco song, It's a pretty sad album too. I definitely cried to it, but great album. And then we have Blue by Joni Mitchell, and I've especially been listening to this on vinyl just because it's not on Spotify, and so I can't listen to it any other way. But as you can see, it's very blue. But yes, Joni Mitchell, I got into her pretty recently, and she's just, her voice is just insane. And her lyricism, and it's truly poetry. She's one of the greatest artists ever. The way that she blends her unique like range of voice and her lyrics, it's just truly one of a kind. there's no other like feeling like Blue, like Joni Mitchell's songs. There's nothing like it, you know. I love that album. I think that's a Record Store Day exclusive. That's what I got actually. And this one, I'm not sure if I had this in my last record collection video, but this is Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. And as you guys know, if you've watched me before, I love Tyler the Creator. Everything that he stands for, his music, his personality, just everything about him. He's a hilarious dude. But this album really got me hooked on him. I've been wanting to get on vinyl for a while now, but I just recently did. And I still like Igor more, but this is definitely my second favorite. I think right now it goes Igor, Flower Boy, Call Me If You Get Lost. I think it's Wolf next. Yeah, and then probably my least favorite is like Cherry Bomb, but that's not a hot take. It's not a hot take. But actually my favorite song from Tyler's on this album, Boredom with Rex Orange County. It's a perfect song. I got a pretty new album actually. Daniel Caesar, Never Enough. I'm in love with this album. This album really got me into Daniel Caesar even more. I mean, of course, I've heard the basics, you know, Get You, like Hold Me Down, or Best Part. But this really opened my eyes to everything that Daniel Caesar is capable of. And his voice is just so smooth. I love it. Actually, me and my one friend are gonna go to a concert of Daniel Caesar in New York City. Gonna be Daniel Caesar, Omar Apollo, and Montel Fish. It's like an incredible modern R&B lineup. Like you can't do much better than that. And then we got Clairo, her little EP. I don't know if there's what's the name to it. Diary 001, Diary Entry. I don't know, I just know it for her EP before her albums. This is just this is a staple of bedroom pop, you know. We got Pretty Girl, Flamin' Hot Cheetos, Hello. It's really good. I mean, this is one of the best like EPs I've listened to, and the fact that she just did it herself is really impressive. But I love her voice. I love her other two albums too. I remember me and Joel, actually, you guys know Joel, we listened to all of her entire discography on the bus ride home from a track meet once. That was fun. Actually, think about that EP. I think Forever's on it, right? It's Forever? Yeah, Forever's on it, and how Clairo said that. She made Forever. She finished Forever the night before she went to college, and it's just like, that's like tomorrow for me. Like, that's pretty insane. That it's just, I think that's why I've been really liking it that much more, is just because it hits with me a lot. Yeah. Next up, we got Erykah Badu. My girlfriend bought this for me, Liza. You guys know her. And she's a queen. Like, she's the queen of R&B. The grooves on this album, the beats are just so smooth, and I can't even describe it. She has her own aura, her own vibe completely. And I know, pretty basic, but my favorite song is On and On. Speaking of basic, we got The Smiths. I actually just got this, and I've been listening to it a lot. I wanted to get it to bring with me to college because it's a very like fall time album. I don't know why. The Smiths just like, I correlate the Smiths with fall time and autumn. Probably because I got into them during last autumn, so I just wanted to take it with me. Yeah, my favorite song is probably, let's see, more basic. It's probably This Charming Man. I mean, or Back to the Old House. Those are my two favorites. But the Smiths, I want to get more into them. I haven't listened to too much of their stuff, but I know enough to be a fan. And then we got, going a completely different direction, we got SZA with Control. Another modern R&B masterpiece. There's not really a bad song on this album. I love it. I love SZA. She's also like a queen. She's almost like a modern day Erykah Badu. If Erykah Badu went a little more hip hop or like trap direction. Then we got my favorite ever Kendrick Lamar verse on that with Doves in the Wind. Everyone who knows that song knows that is like the perfect feature. Going another completely different direction, we have Mazzy Star. So Tonight That I Might See. I'm not gonna lie to you. I only wanted this record because of Fade Into You, and that's just one of my top 10 favorite songs ever. But I was pleasantly surprised by all the other songs. I mean, maybe surprise isn't the right word, but I knew that other songs would be good. I just wanted to explore, and I know that I figured my love for Fade Into You would carry over to more of their work. But yeah. Up next we got some MF Doom. I got this in a little record store just because I didn't have any Doom records. I'm not the biggest fan, I'm not gonna lie, but I do like some of his songs, and like with the Mazzy Star one, I just wanted to get into more of his music because I really think he's very important in hip-hop history, and I wanted to see what he was about, and I really liked him. I liked a lot of this. I'm pretty sure this might have been a compilation album, I think. I don't think this is one of his actual albums, but it was really good. Now, if you've watched my last record collection, I was talking about this soundtrack and how much I wanted on vinyl, and I've got it. I'm so happy. I love this movie and the soundtrack so much. I mean, I just watched this movie last night, actually. It's pretty funny. But yeah, great movie, even better soundtrack. This soundtrack got me into like classic rock, like this genre of classic rock, I'd say, because this is a very popish. I don't know what the right word is. Like, it's like this type of classic rock was definitely what was playing on the radios back when it came out. You know, it's like the pop of its generation. It's just the popular classic rock. I don't know why that was so hard to say. But yeah, I love this Slow Ride. I love that song on it. And Paranoid by Black Sabbath, of course. Now this one I've also wanted for a long time. The Notorious B.I.G. And this is the best rap album of all time. I'm sorry, Wu-Tang. It's not 36 Chambers. It's some Biggie. I don't think there's a single bad song on this except for an interlude, which you could probably see what it says a little bit. It's basically just a bunch of pretty nasty sounds. But other than that, I love it. It's just no skips at all. The first song I liked a lot off it was "Give Me the Loot." And then I got really into him, and it's just full of hits. It's full of hits. I love Biggie. He's got the best flow ever. And look how cute he is, his little baby. Baby Biggie. I'm really just going all over the place in terms of genre here. I don't know, because now I got a very different vibe than Biggie. It's Beach House, Depression Cherry. This one, like the name suggests, it hits hard. It hits hard. Space Song, obviously. The Space Song is just a masterpiece. And this is like I've come to find that the longer I buy records for, the more lenient I am to buying different records, just because like I like Space Song, so I wanted to check out more Beach House, so I got the whole record and just listened to it, and I'm very glad I did, because I mean I wasn't a big Beach House guy before, but now I know of Wildflower and PPP, and I know those are really big Beach House songs, but I'd never heard them before, so it was a really nice time listening to it for the first time. You can see yourselves. Put these ones over here. Next, I'm not sure if I had this for the last video, but Acid Rap, Change the Rapper. Now, you guys know how much I cherish this album. This was my favorite album for a long portion of my life. And I definitely still come back to it with the most nostalgia. It's the album that got me into different genres of music. Because I mean, before this, I just listened to what was on the radio. Really, like this album just got me very passionate about music. It got me seeing all these different, this whole entire world of music that I had no idea about. You know, I had never heard anything like this before. And neither had a lot of other people, because back then, I mean, this is really out there. It's got its own feeling to each of the songs, you know. But front to back, I could listen and recite every single word on this track. Yeah, I'm actually going to his 10-year anniversary concert in Brooklyn this Friday, so I'm really excited for that. Now we got another Mac DeMarco, Here Comes the Cowboy. This is also a very sad album. I know that, like, heart to heart with his relationship with Mac Miller. It's really heartbreaking, but it makes for great music. Unfortunately, is a lot of the times, like, those strong emotions, whether they're sadness or loss or grief or happiness or euphoria, a lot of those feelings just make music better, you know. It lets you express your feelings through it. And there's definitely a lot of emotion shown in this album. And my girlfriend actually got me this too. She's amazing. There's Mac. Look at him. That sexy man. Now we got the best album objectively of all time. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, name a better album, like, objectively. Okay, Thriller by Michael Jackson is like, that's probably the better, honestly. But this one is just the most transformative of mainstream genres. Like, I mean, what this did for music, what this did for rock music, unparalleled. They did stuff that was never heard of before. Pink Floyd. I mean, there's nothing to be said about them that hasn't already been said. But obviously amazing. The whole trip out into outer space when you listen to this. Oh, we got another Mac DeMarco record. Got another one. Ironically. This is the first Mac record I got. And I love it. I do love it. It has a special place in my heart just because of that. I mean, I'd never listened to a Mac DeMarco record before this. So, I really liked The Way You Love Her and No Other Heart, of course, and another one, obviously. But this really got me into Mac. It got me started listening to his music more. I'm very grateful for that. I like how I said I wasn't going to spend a lot of time on each record, and here I am, talking about each record. I don't care. It's going to be a long video anyways. And this is a guy who shall not be named, unfortunately. Graduation is an amazing album. It really is. It's a shame that he's gone down the path that he has, but sometimes that stuff happens. But it doesn't deny the fact that this is an amazing work of art, and it's a bunch of bops on it. And we got Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City. Great record. I saw Kendrick in concert, no need to brag, but I saw him with my friend, and he performed like a bunch of songs off of this, surprisingly. A lot of people say that it's either this or To Pimp a Butterfly that are his best. I actually have a different one in mind, but I won't deny that this is an amazing album. And the first time I actually ever listened to from Kendrick was like right when this released, and it was Backseat Freestyle. That was one of my favorites. When little Logan would be playing basketball in the driveway, I would just have that on, and I'd be singing that Eiffel Tower verse. Okay, so now I think we're just gonna go in a little bit of random order, just because there's a lot, and I don't know what order to go in or anything. But yeah, I'm still in like the newer newer records that I have, and I'll slowly get into the older stuff, But here we got American Teen by Khalid. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I know this album is amazing. Probably the most nostalgic to my junior high years, just because my big brother Tyler, he'd like listen to this in the car, and he's 5 years older than me, so it was when he was a senior and when I was just like in 7th grade. So yeah, I've had a lot of conceptions about high school just from this record. I've cried a lot to it too. I think it's a good record for that. Another sad love song, and Location, and obviously Young, Dumb, and Broke. I mean, I listened to the song 18 on my 18th birthday. But yeah, this is another Record Store Day exclusive. Another one by Beach House. It's very good, very hypnotic, and pretty melancholy, and pretty deep. I really enjoyed it a lot. It was a great album. I haven't listened to it much since, but still, I really liked it. This is one of my first records this is the first record that I bought online, and it's If I Am Only My Thoughts, or is it Visions? I don't remember the name of it, but it's by Loving. And this is just the perfect springtime indie album. It's got those kind of folk folk and acoustic backgrounds to it. But I really enjoyed it. I love this cover. This cover is really pretty. And this album is just a pretty album. The way they make the songs are really pretty, you know. The album sounds like that picture. They did a really good job for their cover art. And now we got Post Malone, Stoney. This is another one that has a lot of sentimental value to me, especially from my junior high days again, because that's when I really got into Post Malone and everything. I mean, first and foremost, I got into Post Malone from White Iverson back in 2015 when I would be making at-home little videos on my closet. I had a little basketball hoop, and I'd be going through my legs and just slamming on my mini hoop. And I'd have White Iverson playing. I'd have a bunch of Eminem songs playing as a little montage thing. But yeah, this is another record that my brother always used to play in the car, and that really means a lot to me. Another record that I've cried a lot to. I mean, I Fall Apart and Go Flex and Feeling Whitney. Feeling Whitney's really sad, but great song. And we got Caillou with Childish Gambino and Jaden Smith. I think this is another Record Store Day exclusive. I'm not gonna lie, I got this because I wanted to have Sober on vinyl. But I have definitely heard of Retro and the Palisades, but not as much as Sober, of course. But I really enjoyed listening to this record, and I think it's really good. I also really like these colors together, although I'm not sure what colors they are. And I know I had this for my last video. It's Because the Internet by Childish Gambino. I still love the cover of this. This reflective iridescence. Really great album. Great concept to it. Great cover too. Look at him. He's a good looking dude. And then of course, we have to have Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler the Creator. My third favorite Tyler the Creator album. But it's definitely my favorite, style of all his albums. I love the colorways, the cream and the dark brown with the pastels. It's just, I love it so much. And I was pretty, sad to see that he's not releasing an album this year, but I respect it. You know, a good artist, he doesn't take as much time as he wants. He doesn't owe us anything. It's just he's the one who's making the art, and he's the one who's just perfecting it. And I feel like he's got a lot of pressure on him, to be honest, because he just keeps growing in terms of music. He just gets better and better, and I feel like if I were him, I would feel pressure for the next one that everything has to be better. But I don't know. He's a great dude. He's a creative god. He'll do fine with whatever he does. You know. Actually, speaking of that one too, I don't want to get too into detail, but I'm just having fun. That one, I made my senior tile that we do. It was a mural. I did a little parody where I put my face on his ID, and I put my graduation date and my name. That was fun. This one I got in California, and it's Travis Scott. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't listened to this yet. There's gonna be quite a few of those where I actually haven't listened to them, and I feel really bad. But that's the point of vinyl, you know, so that you can have it and you can listen to it whenever in life, you know. You can create your own connection with it at any time, because I'll have it forever. But I got that one from Amoeba Records. I'm pretty sure I actually got this one from Amoeba Records too, and it's XXXTentacion, but obviously this is also a very sad record too. I've cried a lot to this. This whole story is just sad. The fact that X cared so much about this girl, and now he's gone too. It's just really sad, But at least we have his legacy and his story and his he left behind a lot for us. I think he was gonna be one of the greats. I think right now already he's left enough for us to know how versatile of a artist, not only how versatile of an artist he was, but how caring of a person he was, and how he made a lot of mistakes, but I think he was troubled, and I think he had a lot in his mind, and he was doing the best with it as he could, and I really respect that a lot. He was my favorite there back in that 2017, 2018 era. I loved that album though. We got another one of these guys' records. College Dropout is amazing. It's just, I love this album too. I love his music. But that's all I'll say about that. And then we got, oh my god, there's a lot of sad albums with some sad backstories, or just sad news about the artist, and this one hurts a lot too. Hers, I wasn't a fan of, or I didn't know of hers when they were still alive, I don't think. But recently, probably 2020, I got really into their music, and I loved their songs. Marcel, You Don't Know This Guy, What Once Was. I loved every song on this record, to be honest with you. They had a little cop theme, where they just played the cop theme on his guitar. They had such great chemistry. They were such good dudes, kind-hearted dudes, and it's just really sad what happened. But yeah, I'm glad I have this. I'm glad their music, they live on through their music. That's the beautiful thing about it all. The music will just always be here. And then we got a nice little bootleg of Channel Orange. I like this cover because he's got orange hair. I thought that was neat. Frank Ocean, Channel Orange. He's such a good artist. He's got so much creativity. He's got one of the greatest voices ever. It's so beautiful. And for all the people that are getting really mad at him for not dropping anything, like I said with Tyler, they don't owe us anything. It's just them making what they love to make. And if Frank doesn't want to release anything, then that's up to him, And I think this, in a world of music where just everything is overproduced to make a quick dollar, it's stuff like that that's the real art. It doesn't get the fact that we're still talking about him and he hasn't released anything in years just says something about the quality of his work. Next up we got some Bruno Mars, Doo-Wops and Hooligans. I really like this record. I like the way it looks too and feels. It's got a very nice little texture to it. But Bruno Mars, he's just, you can't go wrong with some Bruno Mars. This has all my favorites on it too, Grenade, Just the Way You Are, The Lazy Song, Marry You, Talking to the Moon, Count on Me, just hit after hit. I really love Bruno's voice, and obviously I grew up with Bruno Mars too, he's right in my childhood era, but yeah, this one is another one I haven't listened to yet, and I feel really bad about, but it's 10 Day, Chance the Rapper. I because back in the acid rap heyday, I really got into 10 Day too. I like 10 Day a lot. Never as much as acid rap. I mean, nothing came close to acid rap, but I really like 10 Day a lot too. It's a limited edition colored vinyl. I feel like it's definitely a bootleg, but I'm still gonna get it. You know, how else am I gonna get a nice little 10 Day record? Actually, look at that. It's right on the wall right over there. You see it? Oh my goodness, I forgot about this. This is amazing. The Guardians of the Galaxy 3 soundtrack. I love this movie so much. I actually have Volume 2 soundtrack over there too. Actually, I don't know where it is. You might see it later on, I don't know. But this soundtrack, this movie, was just impeccable. I cried. I laughed. I did everything. I mean, they really did good with this movie. Like, Rocket's storyline was just, oh my goodness. I was more heartbroken for that than, like, any other, like, human, like, in another movie. Except for maybe, like, Interstellar. But I was so heartbroken for this character. I felt so close to Rocket. Look at them. Look at those. Groot. Groot's my mom's favorite character. But let me list some of these songs for you. Creep, the acoustic version. Crazy on You, Since You've Been Gone. In the Meantime. Reasons, Do You Realize? We Care a Lot. I'm Always Chasing Rainbows. Dog Days Are Over. That's a perfect end to that movie. No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Come and Get Your Love. It's just so good. So right now, we've only got like a pile or so more of modern stuff, modern rap and Indian stuff. But don't worry, we got some nice classic rock and 50s coming up here soon. But for now, we got Kendrick Lamar's Damn, which in my opinion is his best work. Okay, maybe it's not his best work, but it's just my personal favorite. Alright? That's more fair than saying it's his best, because I know it's To Pimp a Butterfly was just a masterpiece. But for me, Damn has the most significance and replay value. Also, the inside is just damn. And that kind of reminds me of Scarface, you know. But I love that song. And Element was another one of my first songs that got me into Kendrick. And then we got J. Cole. I really like this album a lot. KOD, like I talked about this a lot in the last video too. It's just this amazing album. I got into this right when it was released. I love the messages. I love all the songs. Just a great overall album. Then we got Erykah Badu, Mama's Gun. I think this is Tyler, the Creator's favorite Erykah Badu album, which inspired me to get it. Obviously, but Didn't You Know is just one of the best songs ever. It's definitely in my top 10. Just look at her. She's a boss. Riding in that car. She's the boss. I love this cover art too. It's just so cool. I love the way it looks. It's great. And then of course, I had Channel Orange, so you know I had to get Blonde. What can I say about this album that hasn't already been said? I love it. I love it so much. It means so much to me. Every single song. It's just the way that it like barely uses any drums in it. And when it does it right. You know, it does it perfectly. It's completely itself. It's completely unique. There's nothing else really like it. Another two of Frank's masterpieces. My favorite song on that is probably Nights. I know I'm pretty basic pick, but you might be able to tell so far from my music taste that I feel like my music taste is just like a lot of the basics of every genre and just like amplified, you know, like, because I like the basics of hip-hop, you know, like the classics of hip-hop and like the classics of classic rock, but also like the classics of like 50s and like the classics of like jazz and like the classics of indie rock. I mean, I just like all like the basics of each genre. So you could call me basic, but this is what I am. I know this, it's not what it looks like. Alright, it's just the Minions, The Rise of Gru. It's such a good soundtrack. Honestly, like they had like Tame Impala and Diana Ross like make a song. I love all the covers too. Tierra Whack doing Black Magic Woman is just crazy, and her doing Dance to Music. I really liked how Thundercat did Fly Like an Eagle. I love that song a lot. I like the original, and like the fact that Thundercat did it was just like, it's legendary. I mean, Phoebe Bridgers is on here too, and it's really funny how many people. I'm surprised that Yeat's not on here. Didn't Yeat have a song? I thought he did, but Kali is also on here. It's a great movie too. A fun time, and just look at them. They're so adorable. My mom and my sister really love the Minions. Next, this is a record that I haven't listened to yet. It's because I just got it like last week. But my brother got it for me. It's a limited edition Mount Joy Orange Blood. Mount Joy, it's because we saw them in concert, and because I got a ticket for him for his Christmas present, and we went to the concert, and when we got back, he gave me this, and I really liked them. They were very, very good. We were like standing front row, and we were standing like right next to the lead guitarist's parents, which is pretty sick. It's pretty cool. My favorite on this is probably Orange Blood. I really like that song. Now we got some Coldplay. Back to my childhood, you know. Oh, this is a really hard-hitting album. I love this album a lot. I mean, Sparks was the song that really got me into guitar playing. I played that song to help me fall asleep a lot too. I just strum the chords. It's just Chris Martin's so talented. His voice is just really nice. It's just really soothing. I liked a lot of this album is really soothing. It's a different feeling than a lot of Coldplay's other things. I get a lot more like genuine like vibes from this album, mostly because I feel like they did. It's not a bad thing, but they just went really into pop music. You know, they went music for the masses to like. And I think this one was a little more specialized to certain groups. It's not for everyone, but it's still universally loved. You know, it's just, I don't know how it does that. Speaking of Coldplay, we got Eminem, the Slim Shady LP. Now this obviously is very different from Coldplay things, but Eminem, grew up with Eminem. He was my brother's favorite artist, you know, and I think this is his best album. I mean, he got My Name Is, Brain Damage, Role Model, My Fault. I can't even say all of them, but I just love it. It's that early Eminem, and we're still on some hip hop, and we got Cypress Hill, Black Sunday. No, I actually don't know if I've listened to this one yet either, but I got this in Pittsburgh, and I was looking for this long time. I don't know much by Cypress Hill. I just know that I really like this album. They're kind of like a one album wonder for me, just because, like, Insane in the Brain, When This Shit Goes Down, hits from the, A to the K. I really like those songs. And I think their voice kind of only works for me with this album, because I tried to listen to some other their stuff, but I wasn't feeling it. So, yeah, Cypress Hill. If any of you can, like, count how many records that I have in my collection, like, you'll get a special prize. I swear, I'll give you something. But if you can, like, say the number of how many records I have, that would be amazing. Because, like, I don't know, and I probably should have been counting, but it's too late now. I also just realized that I probably can't show this to you guys, but I could just do that. You know which record this is. You know what record this is. It's Nevermind by Nirvana. And yeah, there's a naked baby on it, so I can't show you guys. But it's their 30th anniversary one, and it's a limited edition, newly remastered. Unfortunately, I haven't listened to it yet. I've of course listened to Nevermind a bunch of times. It's just I haven't listened to that on vinyl. But I knew I saw it for their 30th anniversary limited edition. I couldn't pass that up, you know? Okay, now finally, we're moving into those good oldies, alright? So, pretty sure everything I have from here on was made at least like 50 years ago. Maybe I'm exaggerating, like 40 years ago, 30 years ago. I don't think I have any other records from the 80s or 90s. But, yeah, these are some of my favorites, some of my most valuable ones. Just because, like, I don't know, some of the chances of getting these are pretty crazy. But, I'll start off strong with one of my favorite Beatles records, Magical Mystery Tour. This is simply just, it's the Beatles, you know. I love this. This is, if I had a ranking of my Beatles albums, I'd probably put either this or Let It Be as first. I'd put Sgt. Pepper as second. And what's my big three of Beatles? I feel like it's this, Let It Be, and Sgt. Pepper. I don't know what order. And then probably after that, the White Album, then Abbey Road, which is it's a hot take, but it's a fair one. Your Mother Should Know. Strawberry Fields Forever is just the most important, like, song to me. Honestly, it could be the most important song ever to me. Could be my favorite song ever. It's so good. It's got a lot of sentimental value to it. And then, yeah. This is a really good one. It's first pressing mono of Sgt. Pepper, with the original insert and original sleeve, which is pretty insane. I love the smell of vinyl, like old vinyl. It's my favorite. But yeah, Sgt. Pepper. It's amazing. I'm pretty sure that Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane were supposed to be on Sgt. Pepper, but George Martin didn't allow it. If Sgt. Pepper had Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane, then it would be like the greatest album of all time, easily. There's not much stopping it right now, but I think that's the original insert. Just the Beatles. Great album, great band. To all you Beatles haters out there, I think you just need to appreciate it for what it is. I feel like there's no way you could hate the Beatles. They're just, like, objectively amazing. Next up we got Stand By Me, the soundtrack. Joel got this for me for my birthday, and it means a lot to me too. Stand By Me, Dead Poet Society and Dazed and Confused could be my favorite movies ever. And this is my favorite soundtrack to a movie ever. I mean, this got me, these 50s music. This is at the same time that I was really getting into 50s music and exploring those like genres of classic rock and stuff. But it just opened my taste in movies and in music, and it's because I probably related so much to this movie. I watched it at a good time in my life. I watched it in like 5th or 6th grade when I was around the ages of these boys going on this adventure, and it was the first time that I could feel like very relatable, like related to like, these characters in a movie. And yeah, it's a feel good movie. You know, there's some heavy topics, there's some heavy content, but I mean, actually, some of these records the artists, I have some of the records here with me too. My favorite song on this is probably "Come Go With Me" by the Del Vikings. I'm still looking for a Del Vikings album or record, specifically because of that song. This is another Record Store Day exclusive, "Incense and Peppermints" by the Strawberry Alarm Clock. Very psychedelic rock. It's numbered. Mine is 164 out of 1,000 or 3,000. Yeah, I really like psychedelic rock, as you're gonna see. Yeah. We got some Elvis sings "The Wonderful World of Christmas." Nice little Christmas album by Elvis. And we have another Christmas album up here next, actually. My favorite Christmas album, my favorite Christmas song on here too. The Vince Guaraldi Trio, A Charlie Brown Christmas. This one, I just love all the characters. This one reminds me of my friend Aiden that you guys all know, because we did a little cover of it. I've played this for our little show at our school. It means a lot to me. We made a little talk show, which is what our show was, and we made little shirts where we were different Peanuts characters, and yeah, it's just the perfect Christmas album. I love the piano, I love the Vince Guaraldi Trio. They were very good. Couldn't you love Charlie Brown? Next we got another one that I haven't listened to, but it's another Record Store Day exclusive. The Doors, Paris Blues. Never before heard. It's Practice Sessions, right? Yeah, and with Albert King, which is pretty sick. And in it he covers Robert Johnson, "Me and the Devil Blues," which really made me want to get him more, because I like Robert Johnson. And then we got some more Doors. Got some LA Woman. Not my favorite Doors record, but still classic. A lot of like "Love Her Madly," LA Woman, The Changeling, Riders on the Storm, one of my favorite Doors songs. Just a great vibe to it. And the last one of Jim Morrison. We got a nice little Hendrix in the West. Pretty sure it's a live performance. It was only $5 along with the purchase. And in it he covered Johnny B. Good, which is Chuck Berry. I love Chuck Berry. Blue Suede Shoes, I love that song. And the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So I figured, why not? And we got another nice little, cheap little pickup. Diana Ross and the Temptations together. I actually didn't know the name of this album, or if it's even an album, or just a compilation, but I like Diana Ross a lot, and I figured, why not listen to it? And this is really good. This is I've never heard of it like talked about before, but it should be. I mean, it's amazing. And I love how it opens too. Like, look at this. It opens like this. If I get it. Look at them. That's pretty sick. Now we got another little Elvis. His debut. I was really stoked to find this actually. Like when I was at shopping, they actually just placed it down for us to shop, and it was like right out. So I was like shopping at Little Richard's section or something, and they put this record right in Elvis's section. I was like, I need to go get that. I need to go get that before someone else gets it. And then I got this amazing Frank Sinatra record, Swing Affair. This has some of my favorite Frank songs, like, I guess I'll have to change my plan, and Nice Work If You Can Get It. Those were really favorites of mine early on when I was first listening to all of Frank's hits. You recall the song from a happy past, but the beat is brighter. The beat is brighter now than you remember it. The orchestra is richer sounding, more exciting, and the voice is Frank Sinatra's. It's a swinging affair. I love Frank's just aura. It's just his swagger, his class. He's a boss. Now we're getting into some Beach Boys, Surfing USA. Oh, I love this record with all my heart. I've been really into the Beach Boys this summer. It's because their harmonies, their style is so like timeless. Like I swear, if this came out, like if it had a little better production, like and it came out today, I wouldn't think anything of it. It sounds like it belongs in any era, really. I love seeing when they were previously released or previously owned with their like signatures on it. I think that's really cute. Thinking about how older people like decades ago, listened to this and now they're just old, and now I have it. But that's what I love about records. You can pass them down. But yeah, great record. And we got All Summer Long, another little cheap Beach Boys pickup. Just look at them. They're having such a good time. Oh, Brian Wilson. Just look at that. It's a nice little summer. I love them. I spoke about him a little earlier. We got Buddy Holly. His story is really sad too. Him and what was the other guy's name? Richie Bamba. Richie Valens. I said Richie Bamba. He's a song called La Bamba. But yeah, I love this album. I love Every Day and Peggy Sue. I'm pretty sure this pressing that I have is from 1959. Before when he died, or whenever this was released. But yeah, it's really sad that both of those really young people passed away so soon, so earlier in their careers too. They had a long time ahead of them. But next up we have Santo and Johnny. You might not have heard of their names, but you've definitely heard of Sleepwalk. If you heard it, it's on that what's the instrument where you don't use your you don't touch it? You guys probably know the name of it. It's like where you just do this and it goes. I don't even know. I know the Beach Boys used it a lot too. I don't remember what it's called, but they use that, I think. And yeah, I just thought this would be a nice little instrumental track. And this is another one my friend Joel gave me for my birthday this year, and it means a lot to us actually because we share a lot of memories with this. The circus, particularly. You Can't Always Get What You Want by the Rolling Stones. Mick Jagger's rendition of that on this is just it's the best rendition of that song. But yeah, and that really hits with us. We created a lot of memories over that. That was our favorite song. We had a connection over that song, and we use it a lot. I mean, it's very true. You can't always get what you want. It goes without saying, but it's a nice reminder that it is what it is, and it's not a bad thing that you can't always get what you want. It's just a fact. But yeah, this is just amazing, and he knows that I like it a lot because of especially Year Blues and the Dirty Mac, where John Lennon is on the vocals, Keith Richards is on guitar, Eric Clapton is on guitar too, I'm pretty sure, and the drummer, I don't remember his name right now, but the drummer from Jimi Hendrix Experience is drumming, and they're singing that song. Like, this just the most stacked classic rock lineup you could have ever. Like, they just needed like Jimmy on guitar too, and maybe some like Van Halen, and they'd be set. But yeah, I just realized that I did actually leave one out from the 90s, and it's pretty shameful that I left it out. MTV Unplugged in New York. Nirvana. Now, this album had a lot to do with my name, obviously. It's not an album, it's just a performance. But I fell in love with this performance. I mean, I love Nirvana. I love the band, and yeah, it's what I'm named. I mean, I have a very special connection with Nirvana now. But yeah, great performance, the best live performance ever. Like, I couldn't name a better one. But yeah, going back to the classics, we got George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, the box set. Now, my girlfriend Liza did get this for me. She's just amazing. This album is just, it's my favorite of any of the Beatles members. I love George Harrison the most too. I think he's the most genuine and caring, and just a sweet person. You know, I'd love to be friends with George Harrison. But yeah, that record just makes me feel so at peace. It makes me feel like I'm enough. All Things Must Pass. It just feels like, wow. It's true. It's true. It's how you look at it too. You know, it could be a bad thing to some people, but I think it's a beautiful thing. I think change is beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, look at this album cover. This artwork is just, wow. I love Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix is definitely one of my idols. I feel like Jimi Hendrix was the Tyler, the creator of the 60s. Is that a weird thing to say? I feel like it's not. I feel like he was out there. He was eclectic. He was weird. He was funky. He was funny. Except Jimmy was a lot more shy than Tyler, the creator. Definitely. But in terms of being creative, Jimmy is just, he's unmatched. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's like self-taught on guitar, which makes no sense for the things that he can do. Yeah, I love this album. It takes you, it's just like Dark Side, where it just takes you into space. It really does. And then we got some Etta James, At Last. Now, I don't know that much of Etta, but I do know that she is a great singer, and that her voice is magnificent. It's so powerful and strong. And I just got this because I really like the song Sunday Kind of Love. I like the Del Vikings version more, but I figured why not get this one too. But I like that. I like Stormy Weather and At Last, and I Just Want to Make Love to You. I like all those songs, so I thought, why not get Etta? She's a great singer. Speaking of great singers, Um, God. Sorry if that was a little loud. God. Billie Holiday. Now this is just like a compilation or Golden Archive series, but I've not like, I like Billie Holiday, but I'm not like a diehard fan, so I just wanted to have the songs that I like of her on a record. And I mean, I love The Man I Love in Solitude. I love all these songs. I just love Billie Holiday's voice. It's very nostalgic, even though obviously she was not a part of my childhood. It's just, I don't know why it feels nostalgic. It's very classy. That's also what it feels like. And speaking of classy for this guy too, peel that off. It's Art Tatum, from his performances in the 30s. It's Columbia's pressing, and it's a 1968 first pressing. It's ultrasonic cleaned. It's very good. It's very good. I just recently picked this up. But Art Tatum, I knew T for Two, and I knew that he was a great piano player, but I wanted to get some jazz for when I study and things like that. And yeah, I love piano, so why not? Let me see here. That's just a gatefold. Got another Pink Floyd. Wish You Were Here. Now, I love Pink Floyd a lot, and that's not reflective in how many records I have of them, because it's just Wish You Were Here and Dark Side of the Moon that I have. Although I do love The Wall and Animals, I like these two a lot more than those. And I feel like my love for these two albums are just enough for me to really love Pink Floyd, all in all. Because I mean, Wish You Were Here is another one of my top 10 all-time favorite songs with the most impact on me. It was the first song I learned on guitar, and I've been playing guitar ever since. So I've made a lot of nice little connections with this album and with Pink Floyd in general. Here's another. Speaking of jazz, I got Miles Davis. Pittsburgh. Now, I haven't listened to much Miles Davis, but I've heard that this album was really good, and I saw it in Pittsburgh, and I just decided why not pick it up, see if I like it or not. And although I will say it's not like my favorite type of music, it's not necessarily my thing, I'm glad I listened to it, and I'm glad I have it, because I feel like the more I mature in my music taste and the more I listen to different genres and the more I explore, I feel like the more I'll be able to come to appreciate this. I love that about art, because you can grow as a person. You can come to appreciate something more than you would have beforehand, you know? And it's just so beautiful with music or movies. The more you learn and the more you grow as a person, the more you might be able to appreciate something that you might not have appreciated before you learned all those new things. And I love that, and that's why I hold on to it, because I know that it's something that it requires getting into the genre more, getting into that offbeat jazz. But this is another classic that I wanted to see if I liked. That is the 13th Floor Elevators. And yeah, I know that this is a very highly acclaimed and well respected psychedelic rock album. So I wanted to check it out. I wanted to see it for myself, and the best way to listen to it is on the vinyl for the first time. And I really liked it. It's definitely very out there. It definitely requires some listening to, but I love the style of it. I love the unorthodox. I love how weird it is. I really liked it. They got the Illuminati on the back too, and I like the color a lot too. But yeah, great album. I got some little cheap ones that I picked up alongside different things. A nice little Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. I love when they have like wear and tear on the records, because they've been used a lot, you know. And I like this cover a lot too. It's like 3D, like you can see it coming out. It's textured. This is Eagles, one of these nights. I like Eagles a lot. I like their like self-titled album with Witchy Woman and Take It Easy and Peaceful Easy Feeling. I'll show you that in a little bit. But yeah, nice little discount album. And then we have John Lennon's Imagine. I knew this was a very important record. It's probably like second in my list of, or second or third in my list of solo Beatles albums. I mean, obviously I love Imagine. I like Jealous Guy, and I'm pretty sure it's Oh My Love. I don't remember the song names, but I remember what the choruses were. But yeah, it's a nice album. And it also got a little budget Zeppelin 4, which might be a little offensive to get like the budget version of this album. I feel like you're gonna want a high quality version, but I haven't listened to this like as much as the other people, and although it's probably gonna end up growing to be my favorite Zeppelin right now. My favorite Zeppelin is Zeppelin 3 because it's the first one that I had, but I think Going to California is my favorite Zeppelin song, so it's just fitting that this ends up being my favorite. But so I'm pretty sure that the rest of the records I've shown you guys before on my other video, but we never know. So I'll keep showing you guys in case you weren't around here for 6,000, which I totally understand. But we got Zeppelin 3, I mentioned it before. Probably my favorite Zeppelin album. Even though it doesn't have my favorite Zeppelin song on it, my other favorites are on here, like Immigrant Song, Gallows Pole, and Bon Your Stomp. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Bon Y-R Stomp or something. And then we got a classic Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. This is one of my friend's really favorite albums, but I really enjoy it too. I think Stevie Wonder is just, he's such a character. I mean, like, the fact that he is who he is, like, just a blind piano player that's a star. It's like straight out of a movie, you know? And the fact that he's such a great musician too is pretty amazing. I love it. Love that album a lot. Here's another one that I haven't listened to yet. But it's the Doobie Brothers. The best of the Doobie Brothers. My grandparents got me for this. I'm really excited to listen to it. I just haven't been completely dubbed into classic rock recently. I've been moving more like R&B and indie. But it's always there for me to listen to, which is the best part. And these are some of my some of the records my brother got me. Little Santana record. I like Santana. I've got a lot of Santana records. Got Dion, which I love Dion because of Run Around Sue, and back when during my big 50s John or her 50s song like era. Dion was definitely in there at the top of that. We got the Bee Gees, nice little Bee Gees record. And then here, there's a lot of my favorites are coming up now soon. The Doors debut. Granted, it's not as good as another Doors record that we'll see in a little bit. Just to get my friend mad, but it is perfect. It really is. I mean, there's maybe like one or two duds on it, but other than that, it's a great album. I think my first encounter with this album was Alabama Song. Out of all the songs, like, I think I heard Alabama Song before I heard Light My Fire, which is pretty weird. But my favorite song on it is probably End of the Night, just a hot take. But also I love Break On Through and Crystal Ship and 20th Century Fox. Those are a lot. Soul Kitchen, love all of them. This guy's my favorite jazz artist, Chet Baker. He's pretty underrated. Like, in the discussion of like jazz greats, like, you don't really hear Chet Baker all that often, but I think you should. He's really, really talented. I mean, his voice is the smoothest I've ever heard, and I will say that confidently. Out of all the R&B and things like that I've listened to, Chet Baker's got the smoothest voice. I love My Funny Valentine, obviously. I've fallen in love too easily. Let's Get Lost is amazing. It's Always You. This Is Always. I love those songs. And one of my favorites off of that, I think my favorite off of that is I've Never Been in Love Before. It's just so smooth. Another little Chet record. I got this. I think this is another Record Store Day exclusive. But yeah, this is more trumpet and just instrumental, because he's a great trumpet player who just happens to have the smoothest, butteriest voice of all time. But yeah. I have a little Doors greatest hits that my grandparents just had. It was pretty cool. They just gave it to me. So it's back. It's pretty old, and I wonder how old it is. Then I've got some Rolling Stones, Some Girls. I'm really disappointed. I think this record is actually like scratched or something, because I remember listening to it and there was just like a repeat of one of the section. It was just like, it got stuck on it and it just kept playing it. But I love this. I love Miss You. That's my favorite, and I love Beast of Burden, obviously. But the Rolling Stones are really good. I mean, they're not, I wouldn't call them one of my favorites, but I don't come back to them a lot. I mean, I'm a Beatles over Rolling Stones guy. I'm sorry, but I do like a lot of the Stones stuff. I love Exile on Main Street, which we might see here later. This is a funny story about this one. Fogerty's Factory. Okay, me and my friend, we were record shopping, and I really wanted Cosmo's Factory. And I saw this, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, it's this! I'm getting it." And I check out, and I buy it, and he doesn't notice either. I show him. He's like, "Nice." I get home, I look at it, and I'm like, something's off. And then I realize it's not Cosmo's Factory. It's Fogerty's Factory. It's the John Fogerty's version, or just his. It's just him, which is a shame, because I wanted like the Creedence one. But that's why I have a wrap still, because I might just return it. But yeah. We got Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet. You know, Sympathy for the Devil. It's a must. It's a must. That and No Expectations is why I got that record. This was actually one of my first records. It might be my first video. It might honestly be Rolling Stones, More Hot Rocks. This I got at like a secondhand store when I was early on shopping. Got it way overpriced, definitely, because I didn't know how to shop for vinyl back then. But I still listen to it. This was a steal. A $5 copy of Carole King's Tapestry. Like, if you've listened to this album, you know what I'm talking about. It's amazing. And the fact is, this $5 version, no scratches, no skips. It sounds like pristine. It sounds like it's in great condition. I think it's just the cover that's not in good condition, but I kind of like it when it's worn like this, because it shows that, like, they've been listening to this for a long time, you know, whoever owned it. But I love It's Too Late. I remember one time I was like for track, we were at a meet, and I was when I was like listening to it, and I was singing it in my head. Like, I was just like going through like, it's too late, baby, you know, like I was just singing it in my head. And then, like, because I was stretching, and then across, like, there was like a different team and their coach started singing "It's Too Late, Baby." Like, it's too late. And like, I heard him sing it right after I thought it, and I was like, what is going on right now? Like, I had to make sure that I didn't like sing it out loud, because that was just crazy. I don't know. What are the odds of that, you know? Then we got another one of my first records, The Kids Are Alright by The Who. I don't listen to this one that often, because I kind of fell off The Who. I'm not a big Who fan anymore, but it's a good record. Speaking of them, I got another little Who record. It's Hard. That was when I was really into them, but they kind of, I'm just not into them right now. We got the Mamas and the Papas Greatest Hits. And I didn't want to get like just a Mamas and Papas, because I'm not into them enough to get a record like of just them. So I just wanted their hits. I just wanted the best songs from them. Also, isn't there some messed up story with like one of the girls dating like their dad or something? I don't know. I know that's a part of it or something. Oh, and this one, I love this record, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Deja Vu. Oh, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Sorry, forgot Neil Young was in there, but I do love Neil Young a lot. I don't have any of his records. I want some though. But yeah, this is just amazing. I love the cover of this too. And just look at them. Look at those pictures. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, like Woodstock, and Joni Mitchell wrote some of those songs. Pretty cool. Now, what's funny about this next record is that I actually have two of the same record. The Worst of Jefferson Airplane. But because one I found at like a secondhand store, and the other my brother got for me like right after I got it for myself, which is funny. But his is a way better copy, because it's a good version. You know, Somebody to Love, White Rabbit, love Jefferson Airplane. And then we got the Hollies. This is also one of my first records. I've had this one for a while now. I love it. I haven't listened to it in a while actually, but Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress was very early on in my classic rock journey. So it held a special place in my heart. Well, I will say, like, this cover is ugly as hell. I don't like it. I mean, like, I don't know, I feel like there's just too much going on. That's just me, though. I told you guys that I had this in here. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2. This soundtrack is just amazing. I mean, what's on it? Brandy, Mr. Blue Sky, starting off, Fox on the Run, love that. The Chain, My Sweet Lord, Bring It On Home to Me, Surrender. Oh, it's just so good. I'm gonna stack these. There we go, right there. There should be good. We got Thriller, baby. This is probably like the best album ever. I mean, objectively, it sold the most amount of copies, right? I think so, at least. But yeah. My favorite is The Girl Is Mine. I love that. I love that song with Paul McCartney. I think for the rest of these, I might just try to go fast through them because, I mean, a lot of you have seen them a lot before because these are like staples in my collection. They're the first ones. But yeah, because I still got a lot left. I got Night Ranger. Not gonna lie, I don't listen to this a lot, but I have it. That was when I was kind of experimenting with the 80s and stuff like that. Duke Jupiter, they're honestly pretty good. Like, I don't know why I found them. I don't know what attracted me to Duke Jupiter, but I think it was just like the cover and like the names of the songs. I was like, huh, this might be nice. It's pretty good. So I got 2 of their records for like, I think maybe like $1 each. But let me know if there's any Duke Jupiter fans out there, because they're pretty good. I mean, I've never heard of them before I got the record. So then we got The Police, Synchronicity. Like, anytime I look at this, all I think about is Kevin from The Office. Singing like Roxanne. You're hearing it now too, aren't you? This album, The Kinks, Give the People What They Want. This is one of my first albums too. I remember this is an important album too because it's the album that I told my friend Joel to listen to, and it's been like 2.5 years now and he still has not listened to it, and it's kind of just like an ongoing joke now that like, oh, he's never gonna listen to this album. But I love it. I went through a little Kinks phase here. That sounded weird, but like, I just really liked the Kinks for a while. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't listened to these records in a very long time, but I have them, and they're here. They weren't that much money either, so it's fine. It's fine. Although I probably wouldn't spend another like $10 on the Kinks album anymore. We got Boston. I listened to this a couple times. I mean, I will say, I think Boston's a little bit overrated. I mean, it's just not my cup of tea anymore. I mean, I liked it a little bit when I first started listening to it, but it still wasn't my favorite, and it just hasn't really like stuck with me. I mean, More Than a Feeling, obviously, it's a really good song, but it's just, I'm sure as I get older, I'll appreciate it more. Then we get a nice little Billy Joel record, Street Life Serenade. This is really good. I mean, Billy Joel is just really good. I didn't know any of these songs on it before I started listening to it because a different friend gifted me this. But I really like it. We got Queen and their greatest hits. Queen, obviously, probably like the best front runner ever of a band, Freddie Mercury, and I love his voice. I mean, who doesn't? Who can't love Freddie Mercury's voice? It's perfect. And then we got another little Queen record. I think my brother got me this. And then we got Black Sabbath, Paranoid, which is a great album, by the way, and it's got the Vertigo, pressing, so like when it's spinning around, it looks like an optical illusion right in the middle of it. It's pretty cool. I have a shirt with this actually on it. But yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. My favorite song is Paranoid off. I know a lot of people Beatles is War Dogs, but it's alright. I got Frampton Comes Alive. Now, Dazed and Confused really influenced this purchase, because, I mean, Peter Frampton live, it's just, like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, 2 live songs of Peter Frampton's in Dazed and Confused, like, Show Me the Way, and maybe, like, Baby I Love Your Way, but I love those songs off it, and he's just a really good performer. And then we got, I was talking about this a little bit beforehand, but Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. This was a really good deal. I think it was only like $2 or something. And there's no scratches. It sounds really, really good condition, actually. And I kind of forgot I had any Aerosmith, to be honest. I mean, these sets of records stay in my like a storage thing that is right under my record player, so I've usually been using the shelf for all the records that I listen to, but I forgot I had it, but neat. Another Aerosmith one. I like this one a lot. This is the one that my brother got me. He just finds them at like used places, and he thinks about me and gets them, which is nice. And then another. Did I have this? Is my only Jefferson Airplane one? I can't remember. But yeah, I like the album cover of this. It's a live performance, I'm pretty sure. At the time of my purchase, I didn't know that, so I was a little disappointed. But this is another early on record of my buying. This is like one of my first ones too. Joy to the World, 3 Dog Night. Really good. I just still haven't listened to it in a while. Then we got this Doobie Brothers record. Here's a classic one. No, I haven't listened to this one in a while, just because when I first listened to it, I really wasn't like digging it that much. But that was also like at a different point in my life. I feel like maybe it wasn't just. It depends on when you listen to it, you know. And then obviously you need to have this. You know, man. Although the cover to this Billy Joel does look really scary, I will say. I mean, like, if you just saw this in your closet at night, like, it's kind of like a jump scare, a little bit. But, yeah, his eyes are really beautiful, though. Then we got Honky Chateau by Elton John. I love the cover of this. Feels nice. Yeah, this one, obviously, Rocket Man. What else is on there? Honky Cat. Yeah, I've only listened to this a couple times. Yeah. Alright, next up we got some Fog Hat, Fool for the City. Now you can tell this was in my Dazed and Confused era of music listening. I really liked Fog Hat. This one has, pretty sure it has Slow Ride on it. Yeah, Slow Ride and Fool for the City. But, you know me, I saw Slow Ride and I was like, yep, that's good enough for me. Then I got another Fog Hat live album. This was even better. I like how they did this too with the live. They show little pictures of them in there. Little pictures of them, which is nice. And then we got this 1975 pressing of Fleetwood Mac self-titled album. This one's really cool though. This one is a really cool copy. This is one of my early records too. And I love Fleetwood Mac. I really like both this one and Rumors, which I'll have in here a little bit. But they're just such nice feelings. They're like, it's like yacht rock. like yacht and soft rock, and I really dig that. Speaking of that, though, we got Eagles with their self-titled album, and this one is just immaculate vibes on this album. I mean, I remember just sitting outside on my deck and turn this on the speaker, putting it under my like reclining chair, and just sitting out by the trees, and just feeling myself like transport to wherever they were talking about, like taking it easy. Like I was really taking it easy, and I was really feeling that peaceful, easy feeling. Then we got some Janis Joplin with her Cheap Thrills. Great album, great artist. It's really sad that she left so soon. She had so much more to give, but the ultra rare mono edition is what it says. Pretty cool. I kind of messed up that little plastic wrap, but that's all right. This is another cool one that it was pretty cool. I found it. It's Savoy Brown, Hellbound Train. I really like the cover to this. I didn't know who Savoy Brown was before this, but I like the cover a lot. And I saw that it was a promotional copy and not for sale. That intrigued me. This was like early in my process, and then I saw like all the. I probably can't show you guys that, but I looked up some songs, and it's pretty nice. I've had the Hellbound Train, like that song, stuck in my head like ever since I listened to it for the first time, which is pretty cool. And then we got Zeppelin 2. The only one I don't have is Zeppelin 1. I'm pretty sure, because I have 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. This one's a great record. This is probably my least favorite out of all of them. It probably goes 3, and then 4, and then 1, and then 2. But obviously all of them are amazing. I'm not sure if this is truly the Nat King Cole's ones, or this is a different record, but either way, Nat King Cole he's a great guy. I'm pretty sure one of those records is actually Nat King Cole. Alright, we got The Best of Cream. Now, this is my only Cream record. Unfortunately, I really wanted Disraeli Years, but I never ended up getting it. This one obviously has all the classics. I remember being like Home Alone, one of the first times that I got vinyl, and I just remember like blasting it in my room and just dancing all over the house listening to this album. This nice little Santana record. I don't know why this one cost $10. It was in really bad condition. I made some pretty stupid purchases early on, but this is a smart purchase. Strange Days. This is the album that I liked more than their debut, Strange Days. I just think it has a better feeling to it. It's got its own like dark and mysterious vibe. And Moonlight Drive is my favorite Doors song, so I really like that album. Another little Santana record. I just like Santana for the guitars, you know. Another little Big Hits Rolling Stones record. I thought this was cool because it was in a hexagon. Or wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Octagon. Never mind. I'm an idiot. But this was one of the first records I bought. And then another little Rolling Stones record that's live. And I got it because you can't always get what you want, but live. And this Donovan Sunshine Superman, this was only like $1, which I thought was a great deal because I really like Sunshine Superman and Season of the Witch. Nice little Halloween time record. And then of course the Jimi Hendrix Experience. what else can I say about Jimi Hendrix? He's amazing. Look at him. Look at him. You see what he's wearing right there? What is that? I have no clue. I have no clue what it is. That's why it's amazing. I didn't know I had this already. I guess I do. You remember this? This is a different one. I guess I had this before my grandparents gave it to me. A different one. I forgot about these. I have these 33.5 ones, the ink spots, and I love the ink spots, and I love the songs, and that's really cool. I forgot I had these, but I like these, the little smaller records. They're cool. Oh, but then of course I got Seals and Croft, Summer Breeze. I got this one fairly recently. Summertime record. Can't go wrong with that. I've got The Doors, Another Doors, The Soft Parade. Liza got this one for me because she's sweet. Love The Doors. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Then we got Exile on Main Street. My favorite Rolling Stones record, personally. I just love Sweet Virginia. It feels so like homey and feels very nostalgic for me. Pretty sure Happy's on here too. But yeah, I like this record a lot. We got some nice little jazz. It's like jazz guitar. Wes Montgomery. I listen to a lot of his stuff just while I'm studying or while I'm working or doing anything like that. I like to listen to calming stuff like that. Finally, yeah, my last little haul. That's actually a big stack, but we're getting close, everyone. Got Al Green's Greatest Hits, and let me tell you, this is one of my favorites. Al Green is so smooth, and it just that's how it makes you feel. It makes you feel like that. Whatever he's doing, it's just like, look at that look. He's got that look on his face. Look at him. It makes me feel like that. It gives me that stank face anytime it comes on. I'm just like, oh my god, it's so good. Then we've got Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Absolutely love this one too. This is one of my favorite records ever, probably. I think it's my either second or third favorite album of all time. And Stevie Nicks is just like insanely talented. Her voice, she still got it like however many years later. And we've got some Grateful Dead, American Beauty. And this is my only Grateful Dead record. I'm not a big Deadhead. I'm not a big I didn't get into them a lot, but they've got obviously really good stuff, and I like everything on this. It's just, I feel like that's all I need. I mean, a lot of their stuff sounds the same. No offense to all the Deadheads out there, but a lot of stuff is similar. But nonetheless, it's very good, so I don't blame them for being similar. And then we got Band on the Run. This is my favorite of Paul McCartney's work afterwards. And I just really like Band on the Run, that song. And yeah, I actually was just been recently listening to Ram, like the songs that he made with Linda McCartney, and they were actually really good. I liked Uncle Albert / Admiral Halsey, or there might be either slipped around, but that was a summer anthem this year. Now we've got, of course, how can you forget Abbey Road? Just the most classic album, most recognizable album probably ever. I mean, everyone's recreating these these steps, this picture. I do love the picture though, it's so iconic. I've got another Beatles. This is my little Beatles section. I've got Revolver, which it's not my favorite Beatles, but I do still love and appreciate it. I think I'll appreciate it more as I get older. I think it's one of those, you know. One of my favorite Beatles, Let It Be. This could be my number one Beatles album. I just love the earthiness of it all. I love how it's very hippie-ish, I'd say. Across the universes. That makes me feel so nice, and it's really about, like, you know, letting things be how they are, accepting the situation. Nothing's gonna change my world, and it's just a nice, it's a very comforting album. I like Two of Us. I think watching the documentary made me really, really fall in love with Let It Be. Let me see here. I think inside of this Eddie Harris live album art sleeve, I think inside there is a different Sgt. Pepper's copy that I have that was just really scratched up, so I got a different one. This one is actually pretty cool. It's Meet the Beatles, and I really like this because I love I Want to Hold Your Hand. I saw her standing there. This Boy, All My Loving, and Until There Was You. There's all those like early Beatles classics that I love. And that album cover is really classic too. I love that album cover. And then I've got both of the Beatles compilation albums too. Just because why not? Just in case I don't want to listen to an actual album, I could just play the compilation. Now I've got some more Beach Boys. This is before I had the other Beach Boys records, where I just wanted to listen to the Beach Boys. This is just their greatest hits. I've got The Loving Spoonful. This is one of my first records as well. I honestly just got it because I like the cover art. But then I ended up liking the record too. So I can't tell if my throat is starting to hurt from inhaling the dust from all these records, or from just like talking like this. I guess we'll see. ELO's Greatest Hits. Mostly because I wanted Evil Woman. Yeah. Stevie Wonder. I think my brother got this from me too. I haven't listened to this a whole bunch, but I also have this other Stevie Wonder record, his Greatest Hits. I think this was like early on, because I'm pretty sure he sounded like a baby in these, if I remember correctly. And then just like that style of record, I also have the Temptations Greatest Hits. I got this for like $1. It's a great deal. There's no skips or no anything like that. It's just I really wanted to hear My Girl on vinyl. We got Chuck Berry. Oh, I love Chuck Berry. These are his greatest hits. I got this before I've seen any of Chuck Berry's like actual records in a record shop, so I just wanted to listen to him. But I'm happy I got it. I mean, Chuck Berry started it all. And then up here we've got some of like just Sinatra. Sinatra, you know, like those old like Sinatra classics. The Velvet Moods of Nat King Cole. I thought that was pretty sick. Yeah, the smooth voices. That was my little like jazzy section. Elvis, legendary performance. I think Tyler got this, my brother, for me. Again. Yeah. Like I've never got like deeply into Elvis's discography. I will say, obviously he's amazing, but I never like listened to like his like other than the debut. Like I haven't probably listened to like one or two of his full albums altogether. And this Ink Spots one, I love the Ink Spots. This is there. If I didn't care. And then I have another different best of the Ink Spots that I found. Actually, there's another one, but I actually got a Ink Spot section put in my favorite record store just because of like nobody wanted the Ink Spots records before me, so like they were just mixed in with everything. But then when I kept buying them, he was like, okay, well you can get a section then, and I was like, nice. And then we've got just a compilation of doo-wop hits that I ordered online because I wanted more 50 songs. So yeah, we've got one record left. On to our final record that I haven't showed you, and I just want you to take a guess. Oh no, you might have seen it. What do you think it is? If you're still awake, or if you're still watching, you might have saw it, but it's a very important album to me. It's my favorite album of all time. Igor. I had to save it for last just because I started with it in my last video. But Igor is just, I can listen to it whenever. I can listen to it any season. It's applicable. I mean, I could listen to it front to back and over again. It's just, the replay value is so high. He's a great artist. It got me. So it's my favorite body of work, like of music, that's all together. It might not have had the most like highest amount of influence on me than like of every album I've ever listened to, but I still think it's my favorite, like just to listen to and everything. It's been my favorite for years now. It might change, but that's all right. So yeah, well, that was my entire record collection. And for the person who was counting how many records I have, let me know, because I want to know how many records I have. I hope I didn't leave any out. That wouldn't be good. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do another one of these when I'm at 1 million. Maybe that's pretty wild if I could ever get there. But I'm very content with where I am now and who I have with me now. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I won't talk for any longer because I hope you're sleeping by now. And if not, if you're just awake watching me, then thank you. I'm glad you got to see everything. And as always, I hope each and every single one of you, 100,000 people, thank you again, by the way, I love you all. I hope each and every single one of you has a very, very, very nice